Hey loves, I'm back. I know I've been away for a while. I've just been dealing with a lot of stuff and I'm now just getting over a cold, but I was like, I cannot let another day go by without filming and putting a new video on my YouTube channel. So today's topic is going to be one of my favorite topics, foundation. I love to try out complexion products. I love trying out new foundations, especially because you know how hard it is. We know how hard it is to find the perfect foundation for dark complexions with the right undertone and the right finish, and it's hard. The struggle is real. Let's be honest. So today we're going to be reviewing the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation from Nars. This is new. It just came on, I think it just launched on Nars website a few days ago. It won't be on Sephora, I believe, until the 26th. I'll double check that information, but I'll put the information in the info box below. So yeah, this is the foundation, and without further ado, we're gonna get right into this first impressions review demo type video. So oh, and before we get started, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. I promise I'm going to be uploading more, so subscribe. You'll get the notifications when we upload new videos, and be sure to like this video if you are interested in this Nars foundation. Alright, now let's get started. Alright, so we are going to jump right into today's demo first impressions tutorial. I don't know what you want to call it. Excuse my voice, I'm just recovering from a cold, but I know that I haven't posted a video in a while, so I wanted to get this out for you all. So today we're just going to jump right in. I've already prepped and primed my face using MAC's Prep and Prime Skin Based Visage, and I went ahead and used powder to set that. I'm trying out the Laura Mercier Translucent Medium Deep. I know I'm hella late, but whatever, better late than never, so they say. So let's get into this foundation. So let's start off with some specs. This foundation comes in 33 shades, which is pretty good from what I've seen anyway. I haven't really seen swatches on darker skin, but they do have a photo of the swatches on their website. It's $49, which is a little bit more, I believe, than some of their other foundations like Sheer Glow. I'm blanking on the name of the other one, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And I'll put the prices somewhere over here, but so a little bit pricier. What does this claim to do? It says 16 hours of fade resistant wear with medium to full buildable coverage, transfer resistant, sweat resistant, resist oxidation, so color stays true all day, fresh and vibrant as if just applied. So it says it's Natural Radiant Longwear. I have the shade New Caledonia. That's what it looks like. I kind of just shade matched myself from their website, and I have not tried it, I just swatched my chest to make sure that this was the right shade, and it seemed to be the right shade. That was my bathroom lights. Today we're in studio lighting, so we're gonna see. So this is what it looks like. The packaging is really nice and sleek in true Nars fashion. It does come with a little pump there. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the application. Today I'm going to be using a combination of this Royal & Langnickel flat kabuki brush, and this is actually like an e.l.f. highlighting. It's called highlighting brush, but I just use it. It's like a beauty blender to me, beauty sponge. So yeah, let's get started. So the way that I normally apply foundations is by pumping them onto the back of my hand and then kind of dotting it on the face. So this is what one pump looks like, which looks a little bit scanty. So let's try two and we'll see if we need to build from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and start dotting that over the face. Looks like it's a pretty good shade match, at least on camera. So I have dotted most of the face. I'm gonna go ahead with my brush and start blending that in. Yeah, I think this is definitely my shade. It's a nice dark golden with a tint of olive. This is usually the shades I go for when looking for a foundation. So far the finish is natural and radiant. I think I've been, wearing a lot of matte foundations lately, so this is new. Not new, but you know what I mean. I'm being reminded of what a natural finish looks like. And I mean, it looks pretty good. Like, I don't have any issues with it so far. And it seems to be covering up what it's supposed to cover up. So just for the sake of testing it out and seeing how buildable it is, I'm gonna go ahead and dot another layer on some of my problem areas and blend that in with the sponge and blend the whole face in with the sponge. So let's see, I'm gonna apply one extra pump here. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking on camera and I'm liking it. I think it looks like skin, which I think is what it's meant to look like, a natural finish foundation that looks like skin but is going to last you all day. I'm assuming that's what they were going for, and so far, I mean, it looks like my skin, but better. It's not mattifying. I have combo skin, by the way, so I like a matte finish just because it does control that oil that will eventually poke through. But I'm not opposed to natural finishes, especially if it's like for everyday use. So if you're just going, to the mall or whatever, you just want to pop something on a little bit more than the BB cream, but less than like a full coverage foundation. This seems like it would be a good choice. So I mean, this is my first impressions. We'll see how it wears throughout the day. But like I said, I'm going to spot correct some of my problem areas. Let's just get right up in here so that little dark area around the mouth is covered. Have some blemishes right here. Have a blemish over here. So let's go ahead and blend all of that in. Just make sure everything else is blended. So this is 2.5 pumps. From what I can tell, it looks really, really nice. It looks like my skin, like it doesn't look like I put foundation on, it just looks like I went to get a facial and somehow it magically cleared all my blemishes up. I think that definitely, like under the eyes and stuff, I could probably go more coverage if I wanted to do a full face, but because I'm going to do concealer and all that today, I think this is a good base. And so keeping it in the Nars family, we're just gonna conceal under the eye with the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I assume it should work great because this is Creamy Radiant, Natural Radiant Foundation, Creamy Radiant Concealer. So let's just go ahead and put some of that under the eye. Blend that out. So here's what it looks like all blended out. I'm going to set it with Danessa Myricks Evolution Powder here in the shade 03. I'm going to be using this powder brush or setting brush from Wet n Wild. I think the number is P65. So I'm gonna go ahead and just lightly dust. I don't want to put too much powder. We're going for a very natural look today, but just to set it just right under the eyes. So this is the completion of the Nars portion of my face. I actually did use also a Nars their new eyeshadow palette. The Wanted palette is on the eyes. I got the Natural Radiant on the face, both concealer and foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face, come back and we can talk a little bit more about this foundation, do a little wear test, etc, etc. So for the record, the time is now 4:55. This is the time that I applied the foundation, so I'm going to reference that time when I come back from the wear test. But let me just go finish my face and we'll talk more before I leave you for a few hours and come back. So give me a sec. Alright, I'm back and this is the finished look. So far, like I looked at myself in the mirror and I went outside and walked around a bit. I'm really loving this foundation. It literally looks like my skin, like if someone just took like Facetune to my skin, like this is it. And so I'm excited to see how it wears. I really hope that it wears well. It claims to be 16 hours, transfer free, won't budge. Looks the same as when you first applied, doesn't oxidize, so we have high hopes. We have high hopes for this foundation. I'm officially excited. This is my excited voice, if you couldn't tell. So what we're gonna do is, like I said, 4:55. It's now like 5:10ish. We're gonna wait a few hours and we're gonna see, how this holds up. Is this something that I can, wear going out to an event, or is it just going to be strictly for runs to Ulta? So I will be with you guys shortly. We'll be back to see how this foundation wears. So stay tuned. All right, so I am back. Done a little bit of errands. Got some work done. It's now almost 1 a.m., 12:49 a.m. And this is what my face looks like. As you can tell, it's pretty radiant, to say the least. I am oily in the normal areas that I find myself to be oily in over time, which is my T-zone. So this area, just this general area right up in here, and I am pretty normal on the other parts of my face, which is just, that's how all foundations perform me. I always get oily here and the rest of my face always kind of stays the same. I will note I did not set this face with powder today just because I wanted to just see like what the wear was like. I just wanted to, my first impressions, I just wanted to see, what's the baseline. So from what I can tell, I definitely need powder with this foundation. To be honest, I haven't really found a setting spray that works for me. I find that setting sprays often make me produce oil quicker. Powder works, but setting sprays I'm still on the fence about. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Fenty Beauty touch-up powder, or blotting powder, and just blot. This is probably what I would do if I was out. It's been about 8 hours, so if I was out all day, like at an event or like, I don't know, for whatever reason why I would be out all day. I'm just gonna blot with that. And the blotting powder seems to be taking away all of the shine that I was experiencing, and it looks like normal, except for the fact that I'm tired because it is 1 a.m. basically. But apart from that, I think that the makeup still looks good. I'm actually really pleased with this foundation. Because I have combo skin, there are days where I want to be completely matte and like, super beat and flawless, and there's days where I want to be more natural and let the shine come through and be more radiant. And this foundation, I mean, it's $50. So if you don't like natural finish, if you don't like any kind of shine or anything, you prefer matte finish, you probably won't like this foundation, and you probably won't want to spend $50 on it. But I feel like it is, the purpose of the foundation is to basically make you look like, it's basically foundation for no makeup. It's foundation for the person that wants to walk into a room and have people believe that their skin, their natural skin is flawless, but they're actually wearing this foundation. Because when I first put it on, I couldn't really tell I was wearing like makeup. It's, as far as foundation, like it felt like it was just like I put highlighter on my actual skin. And so for those benefits, I feel like it's worth it. I feel like it's worth the money, the coin. I mean, Nars is more of a high-end brand, so you really would have to love this foundation, love this formula to spend that kind of money on it. I think that there probably are some lower end foundations that may be comparable to this, but I feel like, I don't know, like I think the shade match, because it was like literally like there's only one other foundation or two other foundations that really matched me to the T, and that's Fenty and Lancome. So for this to be such a good match, I feel like that's like number one why I really like this foundation and why I would continue to purchase this foundation. And then number two, I lost my train of thought, but I feel like the main reason I feel like it looks like my skin, because the color match is so flawless, and that's why shade range, why having a good shade range is so important, because that's like the first step, is getting the shade right, and then you can get into, does it wear correctly, is it good for your skin type, because if it doesn't match your face, it doesn't matter how good the foundation is, you know what I mean? So the fact that they got my shade right is already like like enticed me to like have this as one of my staples foundations, and the fact that it is a more radiant natural finish for the days where I do want to look more radiant. So I really do feel like this foundation is good for those days where you just kind of, you know, you want to look poppin', but you don't want to look like you put too much effort into it. You feel me? Like that's like what makeup artists get paid the most amount of money, that type of makeup, to do, is that no makeup, the type of makeup that makes the person appear to just have flawless skin, but they actually have a full face on, but you can't tell. And so I think that's what this makeup, that's what this foundation does. So I would definitely recommend for people who are into natural finish foundations. I'm going to play with it a lot more before I give a final review for the Cocoa Swatches app. But I feel like with the right primer, maybe I need to use like Becca's mattifying primer like in my T-zone area and like super set it with powder at the end so that it doesn't look as oily in this area right here. All in all, I feel like this is a really good foundation. I'm going to also research the shade range. Unfortunately, like, you know, all I can go off is the swatches that I have on the website, and I'll put that picture up here. Let me just look at them to reference quickly as I'm talking about them. But from what I saw, 33 shades. I'm imagining that the shade range is pretty good. They had like, you know how like brands separate their ranges by like skin tone. So they have, let's see how many arms. And oh, as I'm waiting for this to pull up, it is supposed to be like lightweight and it's supposed to be lightweight. You're not supposed to feel like you're wearing makeup, and I can say like I don't feel like I'm wearing any foundation at all. There's some foundations that make you look bomb, but like you can feel it on your face. Like I don't feel like I'm wearing any foundation at all. So in this photo, it looks like they have 4 hands, and then the lightest to the darkest. The arm with the most shades looks like it is like the middle from the fairest. And then the arm with the least shades is the darkest. So I mean, I'm just going off of their pictures. Sometimes when sites, brands put up their own like photoshopped photos of swatches, it's kind of a little bit hard to tell because they want the swatches to be perfect. So they've obviously been very photoshopped to look neat, and you know, they have certain lighting, etc., etc. So all I can say is I'm going off of what I see here. My shade New Caledonia is the, let's see, there's 4 more shades darker than I am. So for me, like I say, like I can't be the darkest shade, which is usually the case for a lot of foundations. So if there are shades darker than me, then I feel like that's like my general rule of thumb, that the shade range may be good, at least more than 2. If there's like more than 2, it's like okay, like that's good, because like I don't want to be the darkest shade, because I know there's so many more people in this world that are darker than me that are looking for makeup products. So I have high hopes for the shade range. Hopefully when it comes out in Sephora, more people will be able to get access to it, and we'll kind of see if anyone else posts swatches of what the shade range looks like. But yeah, those are my first impressions, final thoughts. To be honest, I don't know how I feel about first impressions. I kind of generally like to, you know, play with things and like get comfortable with them before I talk to you guys about the products on camera. But I haven't done a video in so long, and I'm just like, and there's so many things that I want to talk to you guys about, so many things I want to review for you all. So I'm just like, let me just do these first impressions. I was just super excited to just try this. It's like I might as well just film my experience and let you know what I'm thinking. So this is what I'm thinking. First day of wearing it, I'm going to definitely try this out for like the next week, because like I said, when I first put it on, I was in love with the shade. The shade was perfect. The finish was beautiful. And so yeah, I'm just excited about it. I'm excited when things work, you know, like it's so often when you get something that's just like, oh, it's okay. But this is something that worked. I feel like it worked for me. So yeah, that's all I got today. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe below. Let me know what you think about this video. If you have any questions about this foundation, if you're excited about it, if you even knew about it, or if you have you know, any thoughts about Nars as a brand, or any other previous foundations, or Sugar Glow, and their other one, which I always forget the name of again, but you guys know what I mean. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.